It's been far too long since the most recent Magic the Gathering set. Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie, and I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Do my best to get back to weekly and daily content. We did spend a big amount of time last week updating the website, KitchenTableTCG.com, brand new website for my store. Really hope you will go check it out. That's what I've been focusing my time on. But now I'm starting to look forward to foundations. We are off the back of a huge amount of Duskmourn and Bloomburrow and set after set, and there's a little bit of time, and then Foundations gets us through all the way into the new year, and Foundations coming out, and there's a lot of conversation about it, a lot of things to chat about, and I want to give you my insight on how pre-orders are doing, as well as where I am thinking through at this set through talking to some other people as well. So first and foremost, if you do want to pre-order Foundations, you can do so at KitchenTableTCG.com. We are doing some new cool things there. I'm doing my best to try to give you incentives to support the channel in some way. So one of the things we're doing is if you buy a Commander deck and you add a Bastion 100 Plus XL, you'll get the Bastion 100 Plus XL for free. Just a cool thing we're doing. We do have Foundations pre-orders up there as well. So let's get into it for a little bit. Foundations, this set that is Magic the Gathering going back to core sets. We've done this 100 times. We did this with Origins. Yeah, we did this with Origins. We did this with the return to core sets. We have not had a core set since core set 2021. I think we had Jumpstart 2022. We've not had a core set since basically the pandemic. And this is really changing up the way Magic does core sets, where Foundations will be standard legal for 5 years. Absolutely wild. Going back to like the core cards of Magic the Gathering, pre-orders have been actually pretty good. I do have the Gold Wizard program in my Discord server where people can buy product at cost, and we don't guarantee pre-orders, but we have been doing pre-orders, and the pre-orders for this product from people who are cracking singles, who are running this kind of as a business type of thing, people are very excited for the set. I would say collector boxes are on par with the pre-orders for Duskmourn, the pre-orders for Bloomburrow. There's a lot of people looking for collector boxes. The rest of the products, though, basically nobody. Basically nobody wants. Play boosters, very low orders, some orders for the Jumpstart stuff, which actually surprised me, but the vast majority of people going into collector booster boxes, which does not surprise me. There is a huge amount of excitement right now on collector boosters because Wizards of the Coast has limited and lowered the print run of the previous kind of couple sets. There's an expectation that this set will continue that trend, and that we will not see this like huge tanking and dumping of prices because stores are going to get allocated. There's going to be hypothetically, there's going to be a limited amount of product rather than this kind of huge influx of product that we saw previous in 2020, 2021, that kind of years. So it'll be really interesting to see how that shakes out. We saw some allocation with Duskmourn. I would anticipate that Foundations, the orders across the board, I think are going to be a little bit lower because stores don't really know what to do with this product. But I think from my perspective, I have had a significant amount of interest on par again with Duskmourn and with Bloomburrow for collector boxes. Now, the very interesting thing is that there's no Commander sets in this, and most of the people who order significant product from, we do get the occasional pre-order. I'm trying to increase the amount of pre-orders we get from just casual viewers and casual people, but most of the people who support the channel and are cracking singles and are running kind of a singles online, they really do Commander decks. For your typical set, I sell a metric ton of Commander deck sets, people ordering a good chunk of them to break down for singles in line with the collector boxes. And with no Commander deck sets, I think there's some people who are just sitting this set out from a business perspective and from a reseller perspective and that kind of thing, which is super interesting for the whole market. They're not going to those play boosters. And the decision to not do Commander decks, I think, is I think it's an intentional one from Wizards. They are really trying to make this a standard set. They are really trying to get people back into playing one-on-one Magic and the standard level. And it'll be interesting to see if that works out. They have a couple new products, like it's not a learn to play. It's like almost like the deck builders toolkit that used to, oh, that's a Pokemon one. What used to be? It used to be a Magic deck. I don't remember what it was, but it was like a box that opened up, and it was like a long box that held like 400 cards, and it had 4 booster packs in it. They essentially have that for Foundations. They're bringing that back. I don't think that that's going to have any amount of demand equal to like what Commander decks did. It seems to me that this set could have had a whole new line of the starter Commander decks. And I'm a little bit confused at why they didn't do that. The starter Commander decks came out 2 years ago. They've been wildly successful for us. We sell through them every time we get a new shipment of them. We sell through them pretty quickly. New players who want an easy onboard to learning Commander, it's a really great tool for those. I'm actually surprised they didn't have any of that. But again, I think they want the focus of Foundations to be standard. They want it to go into this world where maybe you're a Commander player and you've been thinking, maybe I should start playing standard. This is your onboard ramp. My only concern is that a new player typically is not going to sit down and play a one-on-one format. Typically, a new player for Magic the Gathering is being invited to a Commander table. And if you have this kind of deck builder toolkit thing that is, hey, you learn how to build a deck, and you can't even build a Commander deck with it, or there's no real tools to build a Commander deck with it. I don't know if this really pushes the needle on new players coming into Magic, but there is a ton of other Commander decks out there that people can hop in and play. But the no Commander thing is a real question mark for me on this whole set and the popularity of the set. The last thing I want to talk about is iconic cards. So you have this Foundation set that's going to bring us away from the thematic nature of recent Magic the Gathering sets, right? You've got Outlaws at Thunder Junction, which is Magic the Gathering meets the Wild Wild West. You've got Duskmorn, which is, horror movie meets Magic the Gathering. You've got Bloomborough, which is cute, furry creatures meets Magic the Gathering. And here we have Foundations, which is Magic the Gathering meets Magic the Gathering. And that's really good. There's a lot of people who have been wanting this. You're going to have Llanowar Elves. You're going to have Lightning Bolt. You might not actually have Lightning Bolt. But you're going to have these iconic cards that people who have been playing Magic the Gathering know. And they're doing fractured foils, which did pretty well for Duskmorn. Those are pretty high polls. And you're going to have a fractured foil version of these really iconic Magic the Gathering cards. But what happens when you're not creating new IP, new cards, new things, and instead you're making the iconic nature, is you have kind of a ceiling for the price. In other words, let's use Llanowar Elves. Let's just pretend that they have some sort of amazing anime artwork, fractured foil Llanowar Elves that is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely amazing, and also incredibly hard to pull. Let's pretend that that happens. We haven't seen that yet, but let's just use this for an example. I feel like that still has a price ceiling compared to alpha and beta Llanowar Elves. I think like that you're going to run up to these cards that are amazing and really fun to pull, having a ceiling in price because they are reprints of iconic cards that have already an expensive, amazing, iconic, historical version of the cards. And I think you're going to run up against that, which could give some, I don't know, could put a ceiling on the price point of these cards. We haven't seen any serialized things or anything like that, but from that fractured foil perspective, I think people will be excited to pull them. But when you get into prices of $400 or $500 and you're starting to flirt with the price of a moderately played alpha of that same card, I think people are going to step back. I, for one, much rather have an alpha that has a very limited amount of printing and iconic card that's stood the test of time than a new flashy version. But maybe this is Wizards of the Coast trying to see how close to the ceiling can they get? Can they create a thing that brings apart the excitement and the hype of something like an alpha or like a 7th edition foil, that kind of thing for Magic the Gathering? So anyway, I'm very curious what your thoughts are on Foundations. This seems like a set that a lot of people are skipping out on in terms of, again, you know, I have had some orders from the gold wizards and the people who are looking at this from a business perspective, and they need the kind of influx of product all the time. But from a lot of the community standpoint and conversations with people, it just seems like people aren't that interested. I'm very curious to hear what your thoughts are on Foundations. What are you planning on buying? If you don't play Standard, or do you have any interest in this set at all? I would love to hear your thoughts about that. And if you don't mind checking out the website, go to KitchenTableTCG.com, check out the new website, see what it looks like. If you do want to pick up a commander deck, grab a commander deck, add a Bastion 100 plus XL to there, and it will discount it for free for you. And pre-order some Foundations if you're interested. But also just let me know what you think about the website. I would love to have feedback and that kind of thing. I am trying to move and change and make things better from an online perspective right now, and trying to continue that kind of side of this business. So I would love your feedback on that. I hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. On the website, KitchenTableTCG.com, you can also hop into the Discord server and you can hang out there and connect with us there too. Have a great day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.